I'm Pamela Portnoy.
I'm Alexa Marie Anderson.
And no one's okay. Welcome. We're back.
We are back. Hey, guys.
Oh my God, you guys. We have an amazing guest here today. We have the one and only Gibi here today. I became such a fan of Gibi's through a YouTube search when I was trying to figure out what ASMR was. And I came across her channel, and I don't know if you guys have ever had this experience of seeing someone's YouTube channel and just being like, I don't know this person, but I vibe with this person. Yep. And that was my experience with you. And I'm so happy that you agreed to join us today to talk about ASMR and relaxation and about some of the amazing projects that you're working on.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. So nice to meet both of you.
Yay.
Hey, yeah, we're so happy to have you, Gibi. But I have to be honest, I found you through Pam, and she was like, you have to watch this girl. You have to. And
I've never watched any ASMR before.
I haven't either.
No, never.
I hadn't either. And I was so confused at first because I was like, wait, I had a completely different vision of what ASMR was until I watched your videos. So I don't know. Explain to us, you probably will do it better. Explain to us a little bit about ASMR.
That's such a nice broad question because it's so like, there's so many different like subgenres within the community itself. So that's why a lot of people are like not quite sure what it even is, right? But it's nice because at least now people have heard of it. It used to be this really niche, small corner of YouTube. So I started watching in 2010, and that was already like a few years into people creating ASMR content on YouTube. Nobody would show their face. It was really just whispering. And as the community sort of grew and more creators came into the scene, like ASMR has gone from something just like very small and niche to like this huge community. But what it stands for is autonomous sensory meridian response. Somebody like arbitrarily coined it, Jennifer Green, I think in 2006. And it's this sensation of tingling, and most people get it like in the back of their heads when you're presented with a certain stimuli. So obviously on YouTube we can do audio and we can do video, but you know, you can get ASMR from touch, smells, whatever. Like if you've ever like smelled something nostalgic and you can get like an ASMR tingle from that, you know. But obviously on YouTube it's super popular to do good sounds, nice relaxing visuals that are supposed to trigger your ASMR sensation, which is just a very pleasant tingling. And that is something that I didn't know that I had. I never knew how to put it into words. I never knew that other people felt that. So when I found it, I was like, oh my God, that is so weird. I felt that my whole life. Like when people were talking at my school, like doing a presentation, it was super boring, but I really liked it for some reason because I just really liked their voice, that sort of thing. So I started making my own content in 2016, and on YouTube, typically the genre, because ASMR triggers have the tendency to be super relaxing and pleasant, people use it a lot to fall asleep. So it's not necessarily like it's ASMR is a sleep thing. It's just extremely heavily tied in. So my content is not always sleep centered. I do a lot of like entertainment centered ASMR. So it's like I'm doing it in an ASMR style, but you're never really sure what kind of video I'm going to put out.
I love that. I love all your little characters that you do. It's
Thank you.
Super enjoyable. I'm also obsessed with this. Your
finger flutters.
Yes. Is that what it's
my
called?
God.
Finger flutters? Oh my gosh. Yes, that can put me to sleep. That can put me to sleep. That sound. I love it.
And some people hate it so much.
So interesting.
It's all different.
Yeah.
For me, the stuff that makes me the sleepiest are you put out a video that was in black and white, and it was the hand movements.
Oh yeah, that's
that one really like knocks me out. And it's really funny because I came across your page because I have some terrible insomnia, and I was like, come on, anything. And then I saw that video. I think that I saw that video the first time I came across your channel, and I was like, what is this? This is working. My eyes are starting to shut. And it's funny that you said the back of your head. because I feel it there, but it'll like hit like my tailbone.
Oh,
Like it goes like all up and down my spine. It's just an incredibly strange reaction that like I never associated with like falling asleep. Like I didn't think like falling asleep I'd get tingly.
Right. Exactly. I think that you're just in such a nice, pleasant state of like feeling good, feeling calm, that it's like sleep is inevitable at least. It's like hypnotism light sometimes. Those like hand
Yeah.
movements.
Yes. I'm like, a part of me was like, is she like hypnotizing me into doing something? Like the amount of control like you have over your viewers like must be like astonishing.
That is
Like
so
you can probably get
funny.
us to do whatever you want, like as
To
we're falling
me, yeah.
asleep.
Oh my God. To me, I'm just like waving my hands in front of a camera. Like,
I love it. No, Pam, I remember you mentioning that to me once. Like, I feel like she's hypnotizing me.
Yeah, it's wild.
like
It's so
kind
cool.
of.
A little bit. Yeah, in a way, for
Mhm.
sure.
It's so cool. How did you like, what's your background? Like, what did you study? Like, how did you get into this career path?
I was always obsessed with YouTube. So it's like kind of like two pieces came together. I had a YouTube channel when I was in about 5th grade to 8th grade. That was like the rise of YouTube and like sketch comedy and all that stuff. So that was like 2006 to like 2009. My brother and I, we had like 1,000 subscribers. It was wild.
Oh, that's
all,
badass.
That's all deleted. Thank God. But I went to college for film. I went to Northwestern and studied film.
Nice. Me too. But not Northwestern. But I studied film. Yeah.
We love film majors. So I always loved acting and things like that, but I wanted to just get onto the more technical side. I was always on the computer. I loved editing. So I was constantly like, I would work on all my friends' projects and edit all their projects. I worked in an editing lab. So I really was like, okay, I'm going to do post-production. And so the summer before my senior year in college, where it's like, okay, you gotta get a job. You have to get a job now. It's like not the on-campus job, like a real job. I was talking to my brother and I was like, I think this summer is like my only chance. If I'm ever going to like be a YouTuber or like make it on YouTube, I have to do it now and like really take it seriously. And I think I could do ASMR because there's like this gap in the ASMR community that I think I could fill, that like nobody's really doing what I want to be doing and nobody's really taking ASMR seriously, and they should be. Like nobody, there was a lot of creators, but I could name every single creator. Like it was just like I said, it was like unsaturated. It was like people were uploading for fun because it wasn't really like this explosion thing where you could like really take YouTube as a career. Like I'm like, if you get into like the business side of YouTube, it's just like a whole different world. So I launched my channel specifically with the goal to do it full time. So I treated it very much like a job, but I was like, I know everything about the ASMR community because I watch so much of it. I know all the creators, I know all the triggers, I know what I like, I know what I want to see and what I want to do. All I need to do is see if anybody finds my voice relaxing. I didn't know if anyone would, because I'm a very loud person in real life. So my whole family was kind of like laughing at me. They're like, you're going to relaxing, okay, sure, whatever.
You're gonna make a living by like
yeah, they're like
quiet.
Not you, man. But it obviously went very well. ASMR kind of blew up at the right time for me, so I definitely got lucky there with the timing, just being in the right place at the right time and just posting content so consistently, like as much as I could. And I haven't stopped since. That's like almost 5 years ago.
That's amazing. Are you originally from Chicago?
No, I was from the East Coast, went to Chicago, lived there for a long time, then I just moved.
Oh, nice. Well, and you're back at the East Coast right now? Where are you?
I'm in an undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location. Very good. Very good.
Yes.
What was I going to say? Yeah, it's very clear that you know all the creators because you just came out with this amazing collaboration.
Oh, yeah.
We just saw, Alexa and I just saw clips of your ASMR B movie. How many ASMR creators were involved in this project?
There was 70 on the nose, including myself, 70, and then a couple of my friends, so almost 80 people total.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was incredible.
How was organizing that? Like, did you organize it yourself, right?
Mhm.
That was
So
all you. Okay.
we had two people helping me. My editor and one of my friends were helping me with like the scripts and the scenes and the whole behind the scenes, like pre-production almost.
Mhm.
And then I was just in everybody's DMs. I was just like, hey, you want to be in the B movie? And they're like, what are you doing? They're like, all right, GB, we'll trust you with this for some reason. Yeah. Just
Why did you
kind of grew
sorry,
from
go
there.
ahead.
No.
Why
okay.
did you choose the B movie? I'm curious.
I chose the B movie because of a very specific one commenter. His name is Ace, and he had commented on 100 of my old videos for me to do a Shrek video. So he would say, day 1 of me asking GB to do a Shrek video, day 2, day 3, whatever. He got up to like 100 days, and I was like, fine, I'll do it, because everyone else in the comments was just egging him on, and they're like, that would be hilarious. You have to, GB, la 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 la. So I made a Shrek video. It was hilarious. I had a great time doing it. I put on green face paint and tried to do the accent. It was horrible.
I saw. Again, very enjoyable.
Same guy, after I posted the Shrek video, he's like, okay, now I'm asking for the B movie. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I started thinking about it as soon as he posted it. And he got hundreds of days in. And I finally was like, all right, if I hit 3 million subscribers, I'll do that to celebrate. And then he kept posting. And I ended up DMing him. We gave him a part in the movie as well. And he posted for 400 days by the time I posted the final product.
Wow. So did he know that it was going on while he was still like asking for the B movie?
Yeah,
Amazing.
He did.
Oh
So it's just totally community driven, literally.
Yeah, he's a true fan. I love it.
True fan.
Is he good? I feel like he's gonna have another request for you.
I don't know. We're resting now.
You're like, I'm done.
You're like, no more.
I need a break.
I love that so much. Do you have a favorite ASMR trigger?
I really like just soft speaking. So I really like ASMR that's more like a normal pace. So I love role plays and things like that, where people are just kind of like soft speaking, doing some sort of role play, because that's what like it like distracts me enough that like I'm not thinking about other things, but it's relaxing enough that I eventually just fall asleep in the middle of it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's really cool. What would you say that there are any misconceptions about ASMR that kind of float around in the ether? Like what do you, when people ask you about what you do, what are like questions that they usually have for you, or do you like come across any like commentary that's like not really true?
Yeah, so they're basically the two things that I come across the most is that people try to simplify it or people try to sexualize it. So it's either like, oh, ASMR, you're just like whispering and tapping. And I'm like, yes, but no. Yes, sometimes.
What you do is an art form.
Thank you.
Honestly, it is,
Yeah.
because to tell you the truth, like we have microphones and things like that, but like I don't think I would know like where to even begin in making a video.
It's
like
so
that.
funny because people assume that I have all this like audio and technical knowledge, and I really don't. It's like all about knowing ASMR, and it is so hard to explain. You can talk forever about it, and like I can go into like different types of triggers and different types of videos and all this type of thing. It's more of like exposure. If you've watched a ton of ASMR, like you can tell who gets it. Cardi B did an ASMR video for W, I think, magazine.
Okay.
And
I have to see that. I haven't seen
you could tell that she watches ASMR just based on how she was doing it. I was like, you watch it. Like, she's like, oh, I love ASMR. I watch it all the time. And I'm like, I can tell. Or it's like other people who have never, ever, ever watched a video before, they try to do it and that you can just tell. So it's very like, I guess, nuanced. So yeah, so some people try to simplify it too much or like try to like easily explain what it is. And they just like don't really do a good job explaining it. And then there's a lot of people who sexualize it, who are like, oh, ASMR, like that's like, you know, it's like a fetish thing, right? Because people are like whispering in your ear, like there's all these women involved in it, so it must be a sex thing. And I'm like,
of course, because what else would we be doing?
I know, because it's like it is one I think really the only like genre on YouTube I can think of that is like very dominated by women. Even the beauty community, all the like many of the top creators are men. in the ASMR community, there's definitely plenty of male creators. I think a lot of people are like, well, you have to be a woman to do ASMR. I'm like, mm-mm. There's plenty of male creators who are successful and incredible. But it is interesting to see like a female dominated genre. People are just like, oh, it's a sex thing then. And we're like, no. And of course there are people who decide to bring in a sexual aspect to it, but it's just that they're making it sexual ASMR. It's like two words,
two different things,
so it's pretty like once you start watching it and understanding it, it's clear that like ASMR isn't inherently sexual. But you can make it sexual like pretty much anything else in the world. Like
correct.
It's like massages, getting massages.
If you could do a sexual baking show.
Literally anything.
Absolutely.
And it's just like the internet, the world itself, like obviously you will like get certain audience or whatever if you decide to like go the sexual route. And like that's totally fine, but it's just the misconception I think is there a lot.
Yeah. And I don't know, for me, like, I think it's because of, it's like a mysterious acronym. And like, when I looked it up, I was like, oh, that's what it is. Like, I feel like maybe because it's an acronym, people are like, oh, well, it's something super mysterious.
What's the difference?
Exactly.
That's so true. Yeah.
But then like, when you dive into it, you really, I don't know. I think that there's something so beneficial about ASMR. I just can't really put my finger on it. I came across some articles where they're like, health-wise, it could have a really positive impact on you. Because it like relaxes you and it like triggers like your nervous system and all this stuff. But I was just wondering, why would you recommend ASMR to someone?
I think I would probably recommend ASMR because it's like unless you like find like a very specific odd video, like it won't hurt you if you try. There's no like bad side effects. It's either you don't like it and you can move on or X out of the video or find something else or whatever. Because if it works, that's amazing. And it's free. It's accessible on YouTube. You gotta watch some ads, maybe sometimes, but that's about it. So that's why I would really recommend it, where it's just like if you can really like sit down and enjoy and like click through. And there is, I think, ASMR for everybody out there. Sometimes people find one thing and they're like, I don't like it. I don't like ASMR. And I'm like, maybe like explore. Maybe like we like dry sounds or wet sounds, whispering or soft speaking. You like the role plays. You like no talking at all. You like whatever. I think that there is something for everybody. It's just like a nice way to wind down.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I like that you're explaining that there's different sides to it. Because I think the first ASMR video I ever watched, I got B movie on the brain. Video I ever watched was someone eating. That's a huge thing. And I can't say that that's my favorite type. It's a type.
It is very divisive. It's very divisive. It's not just you.
Yeah. It's there. And that's, if you love that, cool. I'm not, I don't want to put anyone down, but I really liked coming across your page because I think also being an actor, I really connect to the characters that you put on. That really makes me, I don't know, just have a good time and also relaxes me at the same time. So like I'm happy and relaxed, which I feel like is just great all around. Yeah. But speaking of actors, we have a lot that listen to our show. Do you have any tips or tricks for calming nerves before auditions or things like that? I'm just curious.
Yeah. I used to get really nervous before I would turn on the camera or start my live stream or something like that. And it really is just like practice makes perfect. Like the more times you go, like you'll look back and you'll be like, oh my God, I was such a baby back then, and you can like kind of see how you've grown. I think it's just, I almost like sometimes take like a nihilistic approach to things where I'm just like, listen, we're here for one life. It doesn't matter. Just have fun. Nobody cares. Everybody's human. And as long as you are nice and professional and like the way that you want to be, then like you can't control what other people do or say or how they act. And you never are going to be able to. And there's so many people in this world with so many different opinions and too many opinions. So it's more just like focusing on yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
That's wonderful
I couldn't
advice.
agree more. I feel like people are probably going to comment no matter what you do. So you might as well just be
100%.
yourself.
Be
Yeah.
yourself, and you'll find the right people by being yourself.
Yes.
That's interesting because you do have such a large following. I imagine like, well, first of all, I can't imagine someone like saying negative things, but I'm sure because of the nature of the internet, you do come across that. And you just seem like a completely, one thing that's striking me about you right now as I'm talking to you is you're so grounded. And like, what do you do? Like, do you read, obviously you read your comments because you mentioned that that guy was asking for Shrek and then B movie. Like, do you just kind of like have that constantly rolling around in your head? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're reading through.
Mm-hmm. I am like kind of like, I guess, disciplined in that way where it's like sometimes I have to force myself to stop thinking about something. Like I don't like when it gets to me. So like I almost oh frick you then. I'm not gonna let it get to me because like you're not gonna ruin my day. Like who are you to ruin my day? Like sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it again almost comes with experience as well. I think when people first start and they get like a mean comment, they're like, oh my God, like they just said that to me. And I'm like, it's when you get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds like a day for years on end, you stop like feeling the need to defend yourself every time. And it doesn't matter. Move on. They don't care. They've already moved on. They left their
not
mean
even going to
comment
come
and they
back
moved
to,
on. Yeah.
to read what you respond in the first place.
Yeah. So it's like every time you want to focus on the negative, I will try to reply to my positive comments instead. It's like they took the time to write something nice. Like I'll reply to those.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a good rule of thumb. I feel like just
everyone will get hate comments. Doesn't matter if you are literally a saint. Doesn't matter what you do. Some people are just mad. They're just mad. They're alive. They just take it out on you for no reason.
Yeah. And if you're not, I guess, getting negative comments, which is unlikely because it's the internet, it probably means that you're not doing anything really that interesting.
Right. It's like, if you're just trying to please everybody, that means you can literally have no opinions.
Right.
You're not allowed to have any personality, no opinions, no nothing, because someone will disagree. That's a fact.
Yeah, someone's always going to disagree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is such apt timing for us to have this conversation because I've been struggling with this the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
Really?
It's interesting. Yeah, no, it's interesting because we're a relatively new podcast. We just hit our 1 year mark and we recently got a comment that wasn't like really all that bad, but it wasn't positive. And we're like, did we do something? But then like it took like some, right. Yeah. We know that, but there's something about like reading that like does drag you down a little bit.
Absolutely.
Even though in our brains, we know that we didn't do anything or say anything wrong.
Right.
But I think that you're so grounded and wise in that you're just like, that's on them, not on me.
And that's facts. Like that's facts with you as well. Like it is on them. It's not on you.
Yeah.
And there's like obviously there's like a difference. I'm not talking about like people trying to like hold you accountable for like something, you know what I mean? Like people who are like, hey, what you said was not cool. Like that's totally different. It's just that people who are always going to have an opinion. So it's like, just, you can't please everybody. It's literally impossible. We're not meant to have access to so many people's opinion at one time, but we do. So it's like you kind of have to navigate that.
It's unnatural. You can't talk to other people.
It's extremely unnatural. You have so many people's opinions from so many different parts of the world, and you don't even know who these people are.
Right.
You have no idea how old they are, what they've gone through, where they are in their journey of life. Where it's like, I was really different leaving comments at 14 years old, 17 years old, 25 years old. You know, it's just like, you don't know who you're talking to. This is literally a stranger.
Yeah. It can be really overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you gotta take a break. Sometimes you really gotta take a break. I'm about to take a break from Twitter.
Oh yeah. I haven't gravitated much towards Twitter except to like follow some like funny accounts. Is Twitter, do you find it like extra toxic?
It's extremely positive and extremely negative at the same time, where it's like it really just invites, like I said, everybody's opinion about everything. So sometimes it's just tough. And people I don't know. They just act a certain way on Twitter. Everyone thinks they're right on Twitter.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to fight on Twitter. They're like,
I
ready.
feel like it's very confrontational.
So they're like, everybody on there like wants to tussle.
It gives me
You know?
stress. That's why I'm really not on it. I'm really not on it. I go on and I look. Sometimes I'm like, this is honestly anxiety inducing. So I gotta go.
It's like probably not worth it most of the time. I will say there's like the ASMR community is really strong on there. So I've made a lot of friends there.
Yeah.
And like, I think I've like connected with my audience like a lot there, just like the certain people who are on there. But it can be pretty bad.
Yeah, I have a hard time picturing someone about to log into Twitter with the mindset of, I'm feeling like relaxing, so I'm going to just go on Twitter right now.
Literally, they're ready to fight.
I don't
When I open up Twitter, I'm like, okay, just prepare your body. Whatever
ready your
happens.
But I keep opening it. Like, I need to stop.
Yeah, it's addicting. Those apps, like my thumb knows exactly where to go. I'm like, what are you doing? It's like almost like I don't control it anymore. I'm like, where are you going? Why to that app again?
Do you close the app and open it immediately
again?
Again?
Yes. It's so bad.
I'm like so embarrassed every time I do it.
Me too. I'm like, what is that? Oh, yeah. It's interesting though with Twitter. I don't know if anyone else has this vision in their brain sometimes because people are so super confrontational. Sometimes I read comments and I imagine the person like just like very like mad, just like texting like on their phone. Like, I don't know why that vision comes up and it always makes me laugh.
Good. Because
like,
it's so ridiculous.
Typing.
It's so ridiculous.
It is kind of funny to think about because people, they hide behind that sometimes. And
100%. Can you imagine meeting like some of these people that have negative responses in person? Like, I don't think that they would say those things to you in person. I think you would be able to have a better conversation, a more rational, calm conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But just because there's no in-person interaction, it makes it so much easier to hide behind your keyboard.
Yeah, you're so far removed from the other person, so it feels, I don't know, it just feels easier to do, I guess, for some people. It's interesting.
And it's just not really a good platform for like inviting well thought out like debates.
Yeah.
It's not nobody's really agreeing to like the rules of the debate. Nobody's really deciding what exactly we're talking about today. It's just like, fuck you. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yikes.
Also just like misinterpretations probably too. Cause like you don't have
a ton
body language. You don't have the tone of voice. You don't have any of that. So it's cutthroat.
If I had $1 for every time people were just like talking in circles or like people were arguing the same thing at each other. It's pretty rough. There's nothing real positive about it.
What would your advice be to someone who was trying to launch a career on YouTube or online?
I would say first is to lock down your privacy and figure out, pretend that you have 1 million subscribers right now, because as soon as like, if that happens, you can't go back and like undo things. So it's like, I learned that the hard way where I assumed that like nobody would really find things that I didn't disclose myself. They did. My old private Twitter, my Facebook, my friends, everything like that. So like they took all my photos, all my information, and they like just saved it forever. So like after I lock it down, it doesn't matter. They already saved it all. So I always tell people like when they start, first of all, really like, I know some people, especially like in the acting community, like I have like some stand-up comedy friends, etc. Like they want people to know their legal name. Like that's the point, I guess. But I really recommend using aliases. Really backstock yourself, like white pages and all that stuff. It has so much more than you think. Like it is really kind of scary. And once again, like if somebody has a different opinion than you, sometimes that really makes them angry. And it's like, you just don't want these people knowing where you live. So like, that's honestly like, it's scary to like, that's my first advice that I give to people. But the internet is like pretty lawless. You think that like people will be held accountable. They never are. Like that sort of thing. Like people will do terrible, terrible, terrible stuff to you and will get away with it like 99% of the time. So it's like,
I hope nothing awful happened. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's definitely something that like was really rough like while it was happening, and now like I feel like I kind of have things locked down a little bit better. But again, it's sort of like the internet is just like crazy. Like definitely take it seriously, I would say. Because you just don't know like who's watching, who's there. Like not to be scary, but it is scary. And so like I like
For
to
sure.
tell people that. And like I have like my little like cousins or like my younger friends like posting stuff and like showing where they're going to school, and I'm like, stop. Stop it. That's number one. Number two, a little more fun is again, kind of going back to like, it sounds very obvious, but the be yourself thing is to make content that you like making, because as soon as you build an audience, and if you build an audience on content that you really don't like, or it was really annoying to make, you're going to have to keep making that content. So you better do something you like. I was like, I love ASMR. I know I can do this for like a long, long time. And it has worked out very well for me because I genuinely feel very passionate about it. And I make the type of videos that I really enjoy making.
You can tell.
Yeah. But all these people have subscribed to my channel to see that content, which is great because that means I get to keep making that content that I like. And you can always like, you know, your channel will just like naturally grow and change content, and you can try out new things always. But if I did what I thought was popular but didn't really like doing it, then you kind of are stuck in that for a while. So and when you're yourself, you make a really nice audience that you get along with because they're very similar to you.
For sure. And I've been kind of when I like grab onto a phrase, I'll like stick with it for like a good week or two. And my phrase the past couple of weeks is, you're interesting when you're interested.
That is
right.
so
if you're
true.
like, if you're genuinely interested in talking to someone, they're going to find you interesting because you're like, you're really listening and you're asking like interesting questions. And so I feel like that's kind of a thought process that you've taken into your YouTube channel in general, because you really enjoy what you're doing.
I get a lot of comments like about that. That is so funny. They're like, she's so passionate about what she's just like. I'm like, okay, I'm just really excited. People do like that, like seeing somebody excited or passionate about whatever it is.
That's absolutely. So I feel like that was such wise advice. Like everything you just said, I'm like, oh yeah, that you can tell you have been doing this like for a while. You know, that was very. I thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. It's really become my life. Work-life balance is poor. I'll tell you that. Don't people, how do you do the work-life balance? I don't. Terrible. Don't ask me for advice for that.
I struggle with that as well. I feel like a lot of people do. It's really difficult, especially with the internet now. You feel like you have to answer 24/7. It's nuts.
And you compare yourself to like everything that's being put out at one time.
Yeah.
When it's like, you're just one person.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and you don't only do ASMR, you do streaming, you do cosplay, you do a bunch of different stuff. Probably, and obviously you do things because we just met that we don't know about. I am fascinated by the concept of work-life balance, but you just said you don't succeed that well at that.
Not
but
really.
But at least you're having fun and you're enjoying it, and you seem to be a very happy
I tell myself.
Yes.
That's what I tell myself. I do like a lot of my hobbies like are just like inherently kind of like entertainment based, where it's like I love playing video games, I love cosplaying, I love playing piano and singing, so like I do that online.
Lovely.
I love it. And
I have a dog. She's my life, the work life.
She's really cute. She's a big one, right? She's like is she a husky? She's
a Swiss shepherd, so she's like a long hair kind of German shepherd but stark white. She's a lot. But it's been interesting. It's definitely been a fun challenge. Very different.
That's wonderful. You just launched a nail polish line.
Yes.
As well.
You're wearing it right now. I love it.
Here's one of them. Yeah.
So that's a fun color.
Yes. Thank you. It. This wonderful company, Loud Lacquer. So they already are an established, awesome nail polish company. Just asked me like, hey, do you want to launch a collection? You could pick the colors, you can pick the names. And I was like, this is literally a dream come true. Like that sounds so much fun. So I did 4 colors based off of 4 of my characters. So this one is Daisy because her hair is about this color.
Amazing.
And
That's so
very
fun.
Is
It was
blue your
awesome.
favorite color?
My favorite color is purple. It's for
Purple.
the lights and things like the
You
like
have a purple
lavender.
one on in the line as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Congrats. I think they're
Thank
great
you.
colors. Really, really nice colors.
Thank you.
So we've been in front of the computer a lot. We've been in front of the TV a lot. We've obviously, because of all the shittiness that has been the last year. Have you been binge watching anything? And if so, what snack or drink do you pair with your favorite binge watching?
Okay. I've made the most incredible snack on the planet, and it is ideally sourdough bread.
Ooh.
You toast
From scratch?
That. No, God, no.
Okay.
Everyone's making bread. I'm not making bread. So like a sourdough slice, brie, jam, honey.
This is our kind of woman right here.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, I don't know why this is so good, but this is so good. And it's like not that hard. It sounds so fancy, but it's brie, jam, honey, and it's toasted.
You're speaking our language. That sounds lovely.
What flavored jam?
I do like some sort of red berry jam, but it really doesn't matter. You can do whatever you'd like.
Yeah.
I want that right now.
Yeah, it sounds
really
so
good.
That sounds amazing.
So God, I am on like the anime side of the world in terms of binge watching. For some reason, I'm really having a hard time watching anything live action at the moment. I'm like, give me animation. Give me not real. Like,
is it because the reality is too much and you kind of want some escapism?
Yeah, I mean, I do watch a lot of YouTube as well. Like I watch a lot of like YouTubers. And then whenever I'm watching anything like professionally made, for some reason, I am always gravitating towards anything animated. And there's a lot of incredible like adult animated shows like BoJack Horseman that finished up actually, I guess not too long ago. Like basically all the animated television shows I've seen.
Do you watch Rick and Morty?
Yes.
My friend just got me into that this past year.
It's so good.
It's so smart and it's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm obsessed with like the art of everything. And just, I feel like with animation, you can do so much. And I love there's like the concept of voice acting as well.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm a sucker for it.
Amazing.
Yeah. That's a world I feel like I need to discover more.
It's fun.
I have watched Rick and Morty, but I'm always watching live action stuff. So that's something to play around with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alexa, do we have any other questions before we dive into our very important segment?
I actually do.
Okay, do it.
What would you recommend besides Rick and Morty to watch an animated show?
Well, if you haven't seen BoJack Horseman, that's incredible, especially if you're like into like the LA scene, acting scene, anything like that. It's like about like a washed up sitcom actor.
Yes, into it. I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend that. And there's plenty of seasons. And it's one of those that's like you will laugh and then cry in like the same episode sort of thing. It's like really like deep and serious. And it's also the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Cool. What is it on? Is it on Netflix or what? Okay.
As far as I know, Netflix. Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yay.
Gibi, before we ask you our last and final important question, she's writing herself. Did you have any other things that you want to share with our audience? Like, we usually ask this towards the end, but I'll ask you right now. Like, what are you working on? Where can our listeners follow you?
So I'm finally like not doing any crazy projects, which is just amazing. But I'm constantly posting. I post 3 times a week on my YouTube channel at GB ASMR, or I live stream where I do not do any ASMR of any kind, just screaming and video games and piano playing and whatever over on Twitch. And that's at GB.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You guys follow her. She is hilarious and creative and amazing at ASMR. Please follow her. If you're not getting good sleep, I know a lot of people are not right now. Check her out. And she's super fun. And obviously you've seen how charming and lovely she is. So please hit her up, follow her on all the things. GB, are you okay?
I'm getting much better, actually.
Good. What's going on?
I'm feeling great. Like I said, finally I had these huge projects like just looming. And while they were incredible, it was just like a crunch, like a marathon, like 2 marathons in a row. And I feel really good about just like not even taking a break, but just like normalcy and getting back to that. So feels good. And I found a therapist.
That's so important.
Yeah. I was really proud of
Yes.
myself because when you move, like most of it's like all like state line stuff. So I found a therapist. She's very lovely. I try to tell people, that like I definitely am a huge proponent for that as well. Like ASMR is definitely therapeutic, but it's a great thing to pair with professional therapy. Just more people need it than I think realize. It's just nice to be working on yourself.
So happy that you said that. It's so important. We are human beings.
Yes.
Life is hard, especially this last year. I think everyone can benefit from it. And I'm so
100%.
happy that you said that, because a lot of people, think it's this taboo thing to talk about, but it's really not. It's your mental health. It's just as, if not more important than your physical health. So
Agreed.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. I'm happy that you found someone that you like.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Pam.
Alexa. Oh, okay. Me. All right, fine.
Pam, are you okay?
You beat me. No and yes. No. The answer is always, that was my first time I ever said yes to the question.
Usually,
I tricked myself. I'm better and worse. I'm worse because I swear to you, I put myself to bed at 10 p.m. last night. I didn't fall asleep till 3 a.m. And so I'm just like, what is happening? Terrible. It's so bad. I didn't even have like a glass of wine. Like I had sleepy tea, nothing. It was bad. I probably should have watched some ASMR. That's probably what I was missing.
Next time.
Definitely going to try to get some really good sleep tonight. I'm better than okay because I just finished. Did you finish season 3 of The Sinner, Alexa?
Oh my God, that's so weird. I just finished it this morning.
Okay. This morning. You're watching that in the daytime hours?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to finish it. I really like it.
Solid choice for the daytime hours. I mean, honestly, probably better than night, because maybe that's why I've been freaked out at night. Maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of
creepy, spooky.
Yeah.
I had such an acting boner. I don't know how to say it other than that. Like I was just so into the acting on that show. Mm-hmm. And season 3 was fascinating. Lots of like philosophy and fucking craziness thrown in. And I'm just like inspired when I see a performance like that. I feel like jazzed to like, give me all the auditions. Let's go.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. The arc of season 3 main character is insane.
Gibi, have you ever seen The Sinner?
No, I'm intrigued and a little scared.
It's super dark. So
it's pretty dark.
Fair warning. It's super dark, but
it's very good.
Alexa.
Yes.
Are you okay?
No.
All right.
Definitely not okay. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of like is peachy a good word to use? I'm peachy. Can I say
the best words?
I'm peachy.
Really
I'm peachy. I just finished The Sinner. And so I had a very exciting morning. Very exciting morning. Apparently that's not a morning watch.
Well, the thing is, it's just like that. It's like such a polar opposite vibe to like the daylight.
I know.
But it's probably smarter than watching it right before you go to sleep. So
okay. I think
I can't give you shit for that.
Because I wasn't having great sleep the past couple nights, and usually I was ending the night with The Sinner. And last night I did not do that. I didn't watch TV last night. I tried a thing. I didn't watch TV. I just listened to music and had a glass of wine, and I had much better sleep. I know wine typically is supposed to actually disrupt your sleep cycle.
I will always wake up if I have a glass of wine.
It works. Maybe it was the music. I'll try to cut. I'll cut out the wine next, and I'll come back. I'll circle back and let you know. But yeah, I did have much better sleep, which was nice. And then I watched The Sinner in the morning.
Beautiful.
So There you go. Switching it up, guys.
You're making good life choices. I like this for you.
I'm trying. trying.
You guys, this was our show.
Yeah. This
I'm
was
so
awesome.
happy. Gibi, I am
Gibi.
so happy
Thank
to
you.
have finally met you.
Yes.
You are wonderful.
Oh, that was fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. You're so lovely.
Anytime. You're so lovely.
So lovely.
And you guys follow her, all the things.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks so much for listening. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all the things. If for some reason you want to see more of us, you can follow us on Instagram at NoOne'sOkay.
And a special thanks to Jordan Ross Weinhold, Sean Moore, Jason Crow, Claire Palmer, Jackson Palmer, Tiffany Haymoff, Shane Rings, James Liddell, and our podcast is recorded at Soundworks Studios.
We can't wait to meet you.